Welcome you all to Discover channel. If you new to our channel, subscribe and hit the bell icon. Without any further delay, let's get started. Will the Indian government legalize same-sex marriage? What happens around us? Let's get started. If you new to our channel, thumbs up. And at present, we got a bulletin as the Indian Supreme Court continues to hear petitions seeking to legalize same-sex marriage. It's becoming evident just how complex the issue is. Earlier, lawyers for the petitioners had argued in court that marriage was a union of two people, not just a man and woman, that concepts of marriage had changed over time, and that denying them the right to marry violated the Constitution. Day 6 of the discussion, that's being live-streamed in public interest, saw Solicitor General Tushar Mehta on Thursday speaking on behalf of the government, which has strongly opposed marriage equality for the LGBTQ+ community. The government's main contention from the start has been that only the parliament can discuss the socio-legal issue of marriage and the court has no right at all to hear the matter. Disregarding the government's objections, the judges had said they would not wade into religious personal laws but look at whether the Special Marriage Act of 1954, which allows marriages between people of different castes and religions and weddings held abroad, could be tweaked to include LGBTQ+ people. But as the hearings have continued, the 5-judge bench has been conceding that tweaking one law may not really work, since it's a complex web of 35 laws that govern issues of divorce, adoption, succession, maintenance and other related issues, and that many of them do spill over into religious personal laws. And during Thursday's hearing, the top court appeared to agree with the government that granting legal sanction to same-sex marriage was Parliament's domain. We take your point that if we enter this arena, this will be an arena of the legislature. You have made a very powerful argument that this is for the Parliament, Chief Justice Di Chandrachud said. The bench, however, went to say that the court could act as a facilitator to push the government to find solutions to real problems faced by cohabiting same-sex couples. They asked Mr. Mehta what the government intended to do to give same-sex couples a sense of security and ensure they had basic social rights like opening joint bank accounts or nominating a partner in insurance policies or school admission for their children. And how was the government going to ensure that they were not ostracized? Mr. Mehta said he would hold consultations with the government and report back to the court on the 3rd of May. The government may consider tackling some of the issues that same-sex couples are facing without granting them legal recognition, he added. In the court, the Solicitor General has argued that the right to love and cohabit was a fundamental right, but marriage itself was not an absolute right, not even among heterosexual couples. Mr. Mehta pointed out that there was a list of prohibited relationships, such as those involving incest, and asked the court to visualize a situation in which 5 years down the line, and a person comes seeking the right to marry a sibling. Incest is not uncommon in the world and it is prohibited everywhere, he said, adding that arguments of right to choice and sexual autonomy raised by the same-sex petitioners may be used to defend incest at a later date. But this will be far-fetched. Sexual orientation and autonomy cannot be exercised in all aspects of marriage, the judges replied. The debate is being keenly watched in a country which is home to tens of millions of LGBTQ+ people. In 2012, the Indian government put their population at 2.5 million, but calculations using global estimates believe it to be at least 10% of the entire population, or more than 135 million. Over the years, acceptance of homosexuality has also grown in India, especially since the September 2018 groundbreaking ruling that legalized consenting gay sex. But attitudes to sex and sexuality remain largely conservative and activists say most LGBTQ+ people are afraid to come out, even to their friends and family, and attacks on same-sex couples routinely make headlines. We were at that stage in our relationship where we were thinking about marriage. Also, we were tired of fighting the system each time we wanted something done, such as get a joint bank account or a health insurance policy, own a house together, or write a will. One incident that proved a catalyst was when Ankita's mother needed an emergency surgery but Kavita, who had accompanied her to the hospital, says she couldn't sign the consent form, because I couldn't say I was her daughter, nor could I say I was her daughter-in-law. The Indian government has urged the top court to reject the petitions, saying that a marriage can take place only between a man and a woman who are heterosexual. Same-sex marriages are not comparable with the Indian family unit concept of a husband, a wife and children, the law ministry argued in a filing in the court. It added that the court cannot change the entire legislative policy of the country deeply embedded in religious and societal norms. On Sunday, the government submitted another 102-page document in court saying that the petitions merely reflect urban elitist views, and that recognition of same-sex marriage would mean a virtual judicial rewriting of an entire branch of law. In a rare show of unity, leaders from all of India's main religions, Hindu, Muslim, Jain, Sikh and Christian, also opposed same-sex union, with several of them insisting that marriage is for procreation, not recreation. And last month, 21 retired High Court judges wrote an open letter saying allowing same-sex marriage would have a devastating impact on children, family and society. They added that it could increase incidence of HIV/AIDS in India and expressed concern that it could negatively affect the psychological and emotional development of children raised by same-sex couples. But the petitioners received a major boost when Indian Psychiatric Society (IPS), the country's leading mental health group which represents more than 7,000 psychiatrists, issued a statement in their support. Homosexuality is not a disease, the IPS said, adding that discrimination against LGBTQ+ people could lead to mental health issues in them. The IPS statement carries some heft. A similar statement supporting decriminalizing gay sex in 2018 had been referred to by the Supreme Court in its judgment. I ask Ankita and Kavita what they think will happen in court. We know that the Constitution was framed to allow for equality and diversity, and our faith in judiciary and Constitution is unwavering, says Ankita. Adds Kavita. We knew there would be opposition, we knew this wasn't going to be a cakewalk. But we chose to undertake this journey, this is what we started, let's see where it takes us. Give your likes below. And always thumbs up. And have a great weekend. If you want more videos, subscribe to our channel for the regular updates.